Hola amigos, it's me, Santiago. Merry Christmas or Feliz Navidad. I love Christmas, but there's only one person I know that loves it even more than me. My hermosa tía, my beautiful aunt. And every year she sends me gifts to open before Christmas. I can't wait to see what she sent me this time. A lantern! I love it! My tía is so good at giving gifts. This light is a great gift because the Christmas story tells us about a special light. Long, long ago, God's people lived in the land of Judah. The bad news is, they didn't follow God. So it was like they lived in darkness, but they were afraid of the dark. And they had forgotten that God is the light. God's people were afraid of their enemies, but there was good news. Since God didn't forget or give up on his people, he sent a prophet, Isaiah, to give them a special promise. And a prophet is someone who speaks God's words to others. Isaiah shared this special message. The people who are now living in darkness will see a great light. They are now living in a very dark land, but a light will shine on them. God was promising that he would help his people. The light would make them not have to feel sad or scared. This light would make it possible so God's people could be close to him again. Isaiah shared more of God's message. For to us a child is born. To us a son is given, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Wow, that's a lot of names. But Isaiah was saying that the promise, which was a light to God's people, was coming as a child. And he would be the Prince of Peace. Peace, or paz in Spanish, is a deep feeling that everything will be okay. And this peace that God was promising would never, ever end. This was great news for God's people of Judah who were scared and sad. Now, let's go forward about 700 years. It was finally time for God's promise to happen. The child that Isaiah had talked about, he was born, and he was the shining light, the Prince of Peace, and Jesus was his name. My tía sent me this letter to remind me that Jesus was the light God promised. And Jesus grew up and started doing God's work. He told the people the good news of God's kingdom, that God is in charge and that God was going to fix the parts of the world that were broken. Jesus made friends too. And one day, when he was eating with them, he told them something muy importante. That means very important. He said, I give my peace to you. I do not give it to you as the world does. Do not be afraid. Jesus knew that even though he didn't deserve it, he was going to be arrested. And he was going to die on a cross. And it was going to hurt. And it was very sad. But Jesus gave his life anyway. He was filled with peace because he knew God's plan and he trusted his Father. He gave his friends peace too. God gives real peace to anyone who follows him. They don't have to worry because God is in control. All of God's kids can have his peace. When we follow the light of Jesus, he gives the same thing he gave his friends long ago. The gift of his peace in our hearts. Jesus is our peace. And that peace doesn't ever end. Gracias. Thank you for listening. I need to find the perfect spot for this amazing gift. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye.